Hey guys, it's been a while. I haven't uploaded in a year. This channel's kind of only managed by me. I thought I could churn out videos, but I guess I can't. Um, it's just with the lack of Tachikaze news and all that, and the fact that the deck's now obsolete. This is also my second time recording this because the first time it came out as 720p when I didn't want it to, so this time it should be 1080. Hopefully. If it is, and I mean, you're seeing it. Um, but today we're just analyzing Ganturaptor, the new premium collection stride. We're gonna look at how the cray core can actually help out the deck, and if it can be implemented. I'm pretty sure it can be. I've been talking about this a lot in the Facebook group, but I think honestly the core plus this stride will just beef up the deck so much. Turn 3 kills, by the way. Turn 3. Which is pretty freaking insane, but it's possible. Anyways, we'll get right into it. So, we have Premium Collection 2020 right here, right? Premium Collection 2020 has a lot of things. One of which that has intrigued us all is this big unit right here on the cover, the biggest unit on the cover. This unit is called Storm Element Cyclone, which we'll talk about later, but this is Premium Collection, so every clan gets a stride, and they get a crit, plus there's some crit elementals. As of the time of this recording, not everything has been revealed for this set yet, so I guess just wait. Though, by the time you're watching this, it's probably been revealed, all of it, so it's not like you need to, watch me guess what the reveals are. But we got a stride revealed today, actually. And we got a crit that was revealed way back when, plus all the craze, plus order. But first, we'll look into the stride, which is Ganturaptor. What this stride does is, once per turn on Vanguard, obviously it's a stride. When a rearguard's placed from hand, you can put 3 cards in your drop zone as gauge for that unit, which enables so many plays. Like, if you call Sweeper, automatic 3 gauge from drop. That's insane. And then when it attacks, you counterblast 1, and you flip anything face up from your G-Zone. Stand all of your rear guards with 3 or more gauge. All. Not like Anger Blader where you only stand 3. All. And then you retire same amount of your opponent's rear guards as the amount that you restood. It's a nice plus. Honestly, it's something that we take for granted, the retires. So Nevros can just free retire 2, Devastate retires circles, Titanus retires columns. It's honestly just something we've taken for granted, and at this point, it's nice to see retires on this. What I would like to say about this card is that, if Anger Blader's first goes on this, which is when you put a rearguard as gauge for another unit, this card would be insane. This card would literally be the best card in the set because of how good that would be. It's like copied Anger Blader but better, and all you need to do is ditch cards that equal grade 3 or higher. So, I mean, honestly, this card's insane. It's able so many plays, less resources than Nebros, arguably. I know some of you will say that it takes more resources than Nebros, but honestly, I'd say it takes less, since over the long run, your units will stay on board, and I mean, if you're playing against a non-retired clan at least. And the fact that they stay on board creates more board advantage. So it's better than Nebros, I would say. Nebros has to retire stuff. And if you don't want to retire your rear guards, you have to gauge a bunch, and that just kills your deck. With this, you just take gauge and drop, which is nice. Our crit that we got is just stride fodder, really. While paying the cost of stride, this card be discarded as a grade 3. Yeah, it's just stride fodder. It's nice though. 10k plus 15 shield. It's really nice. Next we get into the thing that makes the deck work. This is how we're going to beat people up and kill them turn 3. Probably. Storm Element Cyclone. Continuous Vanguard or Rearguard. Vanguard or G-Zone. During your turn, all your vanillas get plus 5. Yeah, that seems kind of weak, right? No, it's not. It's powerful. You'll see when the other support is revealed. You can probably see it at the top anyways, but yeah. When your stride check reveals a normal unit that's vanilla, so it can't be a trigger, you restand one of your rear guards. You don't restand one of your vanilla rear guards. You restand one of your rear guards, so you can like restand Sweeper if he's huge or something. It seems lackluster until you look at the support cards. Grade Elemental Zanzan, arguably the best grade 1 in the set, besides Tempest Sphere, which is just an order. On plays Vanguard or Rearguard, you Soul Blast 1, call up to 2 vanillas from your hand. They don't have to be normal units, they don't have to be trigger units, they can be a combination. If you call 2, you turned a Cyclone face up, and you draw 2, which is really nice. So you call 2 cards, you buff them through flipping Cyclone up, and you refund the cost of those rear guards, which is really, really nice. This enables a lot of plays, this enables a lot of aggression, and the fact that you get to like go through your deck like that is really nice. Now this ties in with Tempest Sphere, what most people think is arguably the best card in this set because it enables so much. Counterblast 1, you flip any card in your G-Zone face up, so it doesn't have to be Cyclone, which is what makes this broken. Top 7 cards of your deck, 2 vanillas, put them to your hand, shuffle your deck. The second skill doesn't really matter, it's just the cost. The cost is what makes people just look at this card and say, this is broken. This is the best thing to happen. This has inspired so many more decks. Yes, it means that you get to flip up a card and you have GB active before you stride. We're going to be using this card in the deck I'm going to mention later for its actual use and not just to flip up a card, you know. But, I mean, the fact that it can flip up any card in your G-Zone makes the card broken. If it gets eroded and says only Cyclone, sure. I mean, we still play the card. It makes sense. Just every other deck that uses it for GB activators is kind of dead. But that's far in the future. Anyways, you have those two, but then there's this. This makes it a lot more explosive. Cloud Elemental Moark, grade 2, 9k. Fits in with our Excel deck. Vanguard Rearguard act once per turn. If you have 4 or more vanillas, you counterblast 1. You superior ride Thunder Elemental Barragiran from your deck. And then if you road, you flip a Cyclone up. So what this does is, if you have 4 vanillas, you get to superior ride from your deck, grade 3. And you flip a Cyclone face up. Now what makes this insane is that Barragiran isn't also insane. So his first skill is just like Tempest Sphere, the order. Soul Blast 1, top 7, 2 vanillas add to hand. Second skill is what makes him really good. 4 more rearguards that are vanilla, you counterblast 1, you stride Cyclone from face up. So if you went through Zanzan and you went through Moark, you have 2 face up. So I mean, you're just gonna use one of them to stride, but you'll get plus 10k continuously on your vanillas. Plus you can possibly restand them, which is really, really dang nice. And the fact that your opponent doesn't need to be on grade 3 for the superior stride is also really nice. It's really good. And I mean, it's a gray elemental, so every deck gets to superior ride. Problem is that they need to implement it. As far as we know right now from theory crafting, in Japan and over here in the US, and probably everywhere else, honestly, most of them have only planned to implement Tempest Sphere. And in doing so, just, GB game, early game, and all that, they get free advantage. What they've also done is, implement Zanzan and Tempest Sphere together into a vanilla deck, but exclude Moark and Barragiran, so that they can put in their main grade 3s in their clan. Now, since I think that that's going to be the trend, actual Barragiran decks are going to be not as obsolete or not as prevalent as the other kind, but they're still going to be there. Thing is that you don't really know what variation your opponent plays until they reveal a Moark or a Barragiran. That's when you know, oh, they're getting superior stride on me and superior ride. Yeah. Another thing that I'd like to point out is a small combo, with Zanzan. Here's Baby Kamara. Look at my cute starter from Tachikaze. Forerunner, GB1, Counterblast 1, was put to drop something anyway during your turn. You Counterblast 1, you call a random grade, any grade 1 from your deck, give it +3. That doesn't seem like good, right? Until you realize, oh wait, Zanzan says only one place. It doesn't say one place from hand, just one place. So, 2 vanillas in hand, you could just call over Baby Kamara, use a skill, call Zanzan, call 2 of your vanillas, draw 2 cards, free. You just plussed right there. And the thing I would like to call the biggest meme of Tachikaze that I've been trying to make work for the past couple years is this card. Yes, that is a card from the original set 2 Onslaught of Dragon Souls. It's the second ever set since Vanguard released. This is Chaos Dragon Dino Chaos. 10k grade 3. Yes, we're actually running this. It's a legitimate thing. Yes. Don't at me. It's legitimate. Anyways, its skill is that if you're in grade 2, you can retire 2 of your rear guards and you can ride this. It's a superior ride. I mean, that's really all it is. It doesn't seem that good, right? No, it's really good. So what you do is use Zanzan. Turn 1. Call 2 vanillas back row. Flip a Cyclone, draw 2. Right? Next turn, write a random grade 2. Let's just say red Mohawk, but you don't want to use Mohawk skill. You retire the 2 cards that you called off of Zanzan, because, they got refunded. You ride Dino Chaos. And I don't know, you might have another one in hand and call another Zanzan in hand and call, more vanillas. Well, that's a grade 3 rush, right? Grade 3 with vanillas, and you have face-up Cyclones. Next turn, I don't know if you want to ride or not. Next turn, you just stride into, this thing, because this thing is busted. It stands Holy Rigors 3 more equip gauge. It busted, bro. Or you can go into Nebros, or you could go into Cyclone. Honestly busted. Turn 3, you go into a stride. And it's not restricted to Cyclone, like Barragiran, where turn 2, technically, if your opponent crits you, you could go into Cyclone. No, turn 3, you go into a more busted stride that can kill you off of 1 turn. Technically, this can OTK if you have the right setup, but it's really good. And the fact that Barragiran, the Mohawk Barragiran engine, plus Dino Chaos is in the deck, that means that you're more consistent to superior ride. If you go first, you're more likely to win because you have 2 ways of superior riding, 1 from deck, 1 from hand. And the fact that, I don't know, you can go into Ganturaptor on turn 3 and kill your opponent with sweepers or something? After pressuring them early game from your grade 3 turn Dino Chaos, your stride turn with Mohawk and Barragiran, all that. They're kind of guaranteed to die, right? Another thing that I'd like to point out is that Barragiran and Dino Chaos, since they're both premium cards, they don't have a gift. That's where our boy Opticelerato comes in. Optical Celerato. That's where this card comes in. This is honestly an underrated card. And in the last recording I said it was controversial. It's not really, it's just underrated. Usually you go for Death Rex, because it's also in rear guard, and it can kill stuff with gauge to gain big power, right? Yeah. You also opt for Gaia, which doesn't really fit in this deck. You don't have Prison Bird. You don't need Prison Bird to run Gaia, honestly, but it's just nothing really wants to be revived. Or at least there's no space. You want your Counterblast at least. People run Anger Blader because, people got angry when it got restricted in Standard and wanted to play Standard Plus and just kill people. And then there's Gigarex. Just nobody. People consider that card over this card at least. But this, when placed or when it attacks on Vanguard or rear guard, you gauge something, and it gives you a self marker. So you want to ride this after you superior ride. gauge something, get an Excel marker, and then stride. So ideally, you want your turns to look like this. Right into this thing, call 2 back row, sure. Next turn, right into random grade 2. Random, okay, random, it doesn't need to be more work. You retire the 2 vanillas, write this. Plus, since you got your vanillas refunded, you just call them out, whatever. Make pressure, attack. You push them to 2 or 3. That's ideally what you want, and you're going to be running like 8 to 10 crit in this deck, so high chance of extra damage. And then next turn, turn 3, you ride into this thing. Get an Excel marker, stride. Probably go into Ganturaptor. You know what you're going to do? You're going to spam gauge. That's what you're going to do. You're going to call something. Probably not sweeper, because sweeper can gauge itself. You're going to call something, give it gauge. Hopefully it's a vanilla. Yeah, vanilla. If you have an extra sweeper, I mean, call that, sure. Or vanilla or sweeper, give it gauge. You know. And then, hopefully your front 3 rear guards have 3 or more gauge on them. You attack with them. Attack with this thing. Flip up another cyclone. Okay? Another one. And then, you restand them. And cyclone gives an even bigger buff. So, what you're doing is you're applying a lot of pressure. You're restanding rear guards that can hit over triggers. And the fact that you run so many crits in your deck makes it so that they need to guard almost everything. And this is turn 3, by the way. We're gonna assume they don't run the Barry Gearin engine. This is turn 3. They're at grade 2. They're not gonna be able to guard all of this. They're gonna die. And what you're most likely going to do with this deck is Excel 1. Because you want to hit over numbers. You want to guarantee the kill. If you're thinking that you can't kill them, Excel 2. That's fine. But if you know that you can kill them, Excel 1. And this card just opens up so many plays. And the fact that we got Barry Gearin as a Cray Elemental engine makes this deck insane. And it's just... It's broken. It's not broken. It's just really good. I mean, the fact that this card is Anger Blader-esque makes it so good. Because you can go into this whenever you want, as long as you have fulfillments for stride. For Anger Blader, you had to wait to draw it. If you damaged all of your copies or gauged all your copies, good luck. You're not gonna get it. With this, you get triple drive. You have the whatever, like 20 something power, unlike Anger Blader gets to 17. And you restand everything just like Anger Blader. It's so good. Plus Cyclone gives your vanillas more power. And since they restand, that's even more value. And the fact that you can flip anything from this means that you can flip Cyclone and give more power. And you're probably gonna like flip a bunch of Cyclones early game, like if you happen open Busted with this card and a bunch of vanillas, or just Tempest Spheres. Mowarks you're not really gonna use because of counterblast issues. However, if you do run into counterblast issues with Mowark and Barry Gearin, because you can use all your counterblasts, your opponent damage denied you still have the option of Numbros. Numbros is still good. You just need to make sure you have enough gauge so that one of your units survives. Well, that's about it. Then that's all I can think about. I guess we can go over ratios. Ganturaptor, 2 or 3. I don't see it being run more than that. Most likely 2. You're not going to go into this more than 2 times. If you are, I don't know what you're doing, honestly. You guys are probably going to fight me on this and say playset, but the fact that it flips anything doesn't need to be run at 4. Yeah, that's a 4 of. Automatic. Cyclone's a 4 of. You can run 3. 3's fine. It's just, you would prefer to run 4 just for more buffs and options. Sansan, 3 or 4. 3 would be fine because you're not going to draw into vanillas all the time. Tempest is going to be a 2 of. You don't want to use counterblast that much. Mowark's 3 or 4 of. It's a searcher, yeah, but you're not always going to have more vanillas. Barry Gearin's a 2 of, only because it can be searched out. Like, you're not gonna write this call for vanillas and then stride into a face-up cyclone normally. You want to set up to where you have a bunch of cyclones face up to go into Ganturaptor, Neburos, or what's another good first stride? Dynast? That's about, yeah. Baby Kamara is like optional tech. You don't need Baby Kamara. I know most of you will want V Dragon Egg since it draws. Done Chaos 3 or 4 of. That's insane, right? A card from BTO2 a 3 or 4 of. Reason why I say this is because this has to get into your hand, unlike Barry Gearin. Barry Gearin doesn't need to be in your hand to work. He needs to be in deck. So you hope that you don't like get all your copies of Barry Gearin. But your other superior art options, Dino Chaos, which is what this deck wants to set up for, honestly. Barry Gearin just generates more pressure, I guess, but it needs more counterblast. This is less pressure, but less resources at the same time, so it's better. Optic is probably going to be a 2 or 3 of, just because for the gift generator, and I'm pretty sure you'll see Dino Chaos enough, you'll see Moark enough, that you don't need to search for them. You can just have an Optic in hand, and then those pieces will just come to you. You have enough time. As for the G-Zone. I wish this would switch. This is controversial. At least a couple people have said it is. So, my ideal G-Zone would be 2 Ganturaptor, 4 Cyclone, 2 Neburos. Oh wait, no. It has 3 Cyclone, 2 Neburos, 2 Devastate, 1 Dynast. 1 Dynast because you don't need its flip skill. Like, you don't need it. You just want the GB3 skill. 1 GB8 because you get to GB8 faster than you expect. I think that's about it for all the strides. The G cards are 1 Dismal, 1 Ractome, 1 Genga, 2 Bullish, Primer. 1 Dismal to protect your vanillas because Sweeper is not going to get targeted. Ractome for filtering because you're going to be running, since Taji's doesn't have like their 15k vanilla guard yet, so they just have like their 9k no shield, 12k no shield vanillas. And also, if you want to ditch Dino Chaos because that card's dead after turn 2. Genga's Genga. I don't know why most people don't run more than 1. 2's more of a tech. Then Bullish Primer, the best G card in the clan, because it gains +5 for every open rear guard circle, which is common. And, yeah, that's about it. As stated, the trigger line is probably 8 to 10 crit with 2 to 4 draw PGs. I wish I could have implemented Coel into this deck, but you would just restand a lot already, so I don't think Coel could be implemented to the deck, but I will release a combo video, an in-depth combo video later, along the lines, after I tested everything in CFA. You want your grade 1 and grade 2 lineup to be a third to a half full of vanillas. Grade 1s will really be less vanillas because we only have 1 vanilla. Grade 2s are 2 crit vanilla and our 12k vanilla, 3 copies of each of those. We're not gonna have that many vanillas. We could also just ditch the 9k vanilla for the cray elemental vanilla, which is 15k shield, 8k base, which is really nice. That's probably about it for all the vanillas. It doesn't seem like that many vanillas, but thing is, if you're running 10 crit, you're gonna have 6 vanilla crits, and all your heals are vanilla, so you have more vanillas than you think. And then grade 3 lineup, for me, is probably gonna be 2 Barry Gearin, 4 Dino Chaos, and then 2 Optic. So I plan to max out my grade 1 and grade 2 lineups. Already playing Stride Zone. Starter will be Dragon Egg most likely, because drawing cards is a lot more important than fetching a specific grade 1. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. Probably not gonna ask you to subscribe because my schedule's gonna be all messed up. I'm not gonna upload consistently, but if you do subscribe, I do appreciate it. I'll try to churn out more videos in the future. I have a bunch of college work. Quarantine's still a thing for me until June 1st, which is kind of sad, but yeah, I mean, once that's over, we're gonna be playing at tournaments. We're gonna be proxying stuff. We're gonna be testing stuff out. Before then, we're gonna be testing CFA. I might do streams on for CFA on this channel. I'll upload a couple of matches so that you guys know how the combo goes and all that. And yeah, stay safe out there, guys. It's 2:12 a.m. for me because this is my second recording. Good night, guys. I hope you guys had a good day.